Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to be with you all today, and we have a great panel going to start in a couple of minutes. The Honorable Minister, Nara Lokesh Garu, is on his way. He had got some investor and one-to-one meeting happen, so he may take a little bit of more time. But in the meantime, first of all, may I request those gentlemen sitting at the rear of the hall kindly come forward so that we can have a better absorbing audience. It's going to be a fantastic day when we are going to talk about various initiatives which the government of Andhra Pradesh is taking, and we have an excellent panel. So I will request our chairman, Mr. Murali Krishna Ganamani. Okay, so he's advising us to wait a little. Okay. So we'll wait for the minister to walk in, please. Just a minute.
Which we were waiting for him, and sorry for keeping you waiting. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this very important session on transforming ideas into global impact, accelerating inclusive and sustainable innovation. First, at the outset, let me first extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed guests, distinguished speakers and eminent panels of the day. First, His Excellency Khalid Al-Khataf, CEO, Saudi Investment Promotion Authority. Please, let's give he's come all the way, and a CEO of Saudi Invest being here is truly an honor for the city, for our state, and for the summit as well. Thank you very much, sir, for being here with us. Dr. Mohan Kankanhali, Deputy Executive Chair, AI Singapore, Director, NUS, National University of Singapore, AI Institute, Provost Chair, Professor of Computer Science, National University of Singapore. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for being here with us. Mr. Gregory C. Allen, Senior Advisor, Vadavi AI Center, Center for Strategic and International Studies, shortly called CSIS, United States. So thank you for coming all the way from United States to be with us. And we also have Pranita Upadhyaya, Head of ITU, Area Office and Innovation Center for South Asia, International Telecommunications Union, India. So once again, welcome. So I have to say that this theme could not be more timely. India, as you all know, stands at the threshold of becoming a true innovation powerhouse, shaping not just its own future, but for the rest of the world. Innovation today is no longer a luxury of few advanced economies, as you all will agree with me. It is the foundation of inclusive and sustainable development, whether it is addressing climate change, strengthening healthcare systems, or accelerating digital transformation. Innovation must touch every community and every individual alike. The recently announced, I'm very happy to share, very proud to share as an Indian, that the recently announced Research, Development and Innovation Scheme, many of you must have heard, by the Government of India, is a landmark step in this direction. It envisions an ecosystem where research excellence connects seamlessly with industry, where startups and academia collaborate on problem-driven innovation, and where India's scientific talent is empowered to create technologies for global markets and local impact. This initiative sends a strong signal that India is ready to lead the world from the front in mission-oriented innovation, one that balances growth, inclusion, and sustainability. And again, here in Andhra Pradesh, under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, and again, our dynamic leadership of Shri Nara Lokesh Garu, we are already witnessing this alignment in action through initiatives like the Manamitra WhatsApp governance service, which I think cuts across more than 500 citizen services, G2C services through WhatsApp, Ratan Tata Innovation Hub, and One Family, One Entrepreneur Mission, which are embedding innovation deeply into education, entrepreneurship, and governance. As we hear from our distinguished speakers today, the eminent panel, spanning global thought leaders in artificial intelligence, intellectual property, sustainable development, and deep tech. So let us remember that innovation is not merely about invention, it is about making an impact. Our goal must be to transform every good idea into a force of good, one that uplifts lives, protects the planet, and positions India as a beacon of sustainable progress. Thank you. I really look forward to a very engaging and inspiring exchange of ideas with the eminent panel that we have today. Once again, a round of applause for eminent, distinguished panel of today. Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, kindly be seated. I have the privilege and the honor of introducing Mr. Khalid Yes Al-Khataf, Chief Executive Officer, Saudi Investment Promotion Authority, who's come all the way from Saudi to be with us today. Khalid Yes Al-Khataf is the Chief Executive of Saudi Investment Promotion Authority, and he has a long track record in the investment and financial sectors. He possesses first-hand experience and multi-sectoral knowledge, having managed reserve funds at the Saudi Central Bank, as well as the pensions and endowments alongside private health. His career includes underwriting projects in South America and Central Asia. During his time at the World Bank's Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, he has also managed investment banking operations at Nomura International in Saudi Arabia and the GCC. Mr. Al-Khataf has served as the Chief Financial Officer at prominent institutions, including the likes of Saudi Stock Exchange and Marjan, the Saudi mining company, and most recently held the position of CEO at the largest pharmaceutical company in Saudi Arabia. In addition to his executive roles, Khalid has served as a board member and on various investment and audit committees for several companies across different sectors, including pension asset management, ACWA power in the energy sector, insurance and investment banking. He has represented the Saudi government internationally, participating as a member of the GATS technical and negotiation team for the World Trade Organization from 1997 to 1999, the G20 technical team in 2008, and the Santiago Principles Working Group for Sovereign Wealth Funds in the same year. So in terms of education, Mr. Al-Khataf holds a graduate certificate in applied economics from the American University in Washington, D.C., a Master of Science in Finance from the University of Colorado, a Master of Science in Accounting from the University of Colorado, and again a Bachelor of Arts in Accounting from King Saudi University. He's also a certified public accountant. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, such a wide-ranging and such a extensive experience. I think we are truly honored. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, or is it, it's past morning now. So, Excellencies, distinguished business leaders, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to speak with you today here in Veska, Patnam, the Partnership Summit, and especially in the important session on transforming ideas into global impact. In this important session, this platform brings together nations, industries, and research institutions committed to shaping a more connected and innovative global future. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Government of India, to the State of Andhra Pradesh, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and the Confederation of Indian Industry for hosting us with such warm hospitality and exemplary organization. We meet at a remarkable moment in human history. It's a moment defined by unprecedented growth in data, knowledge, and technological potentials. By 2028, global data volume is expected to reach 395 zettabytes, a scale unimaginable just a decade ago. This exponential expansion is not merely a statistic. It is a signal that the future will belong to those who can transform data into insight, insight into solutions, and solutions into meaningful, sustainable impact. Around the world, nations are making bold choices to build resilience innovations ecosystems. Choices about how they govern data, invest in research, develop talent, and build trust in emerging technologies. These choices are shaping new models of progress, models grounded in agility, collaboration, and long-term vision. Allow me to share one example from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, not as a narrative of achievement, but rather a demonstration of what becomes possible when ambition aligns with national will. Under Vision 2030, all 96 strategic goals rely directly or indirectly on data and AI, reflecting the central role that technology plays in advancing national priorities. And by 2030, AI is projected to contribute more than 12% of the kingdom's GDP, underscoring the strategic role that AI is expected to play in Saudi Arabia economic transformation. This moment has positioned Saudi Arabia as one of the fastest advancing digital nations in the world. The kingdom ranks first globally in government AI strategy, first globally in empowering women in AI, and among the top 15 nations worldwide in AI readiness and safety. But the true lesson is not found in the rankings. It is found in the mindset behind them. Transformation succeeds when nations invest boldly, collaborate openly, and place human potential at the center of technological progress. When a country aligns its vision with its institutions, its talent, and its partnerships, progress becomes not only possible, it becomes accelerated and inevitable. Yet, the true lesson is not in numbers. It is in the mindset, and this is precisely why today's gathering matters. When countries like India, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and partners from across the world come together, we do more than exchange ideas. We build bridges between our capabilities, we expand the boundaries of what is possible, and we begin shaping the architecture of future together. We create a model where ideas travel freely, technologies uplift communities, and impact become the legacy we leave for the next generation. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your commitment to shaping a better future together. It is an honor to join you in this important dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency, for a very inspiring and a very insightful address, keynote speech. And it's truly so inspiring to see panels, representing Saudi Arabia, which is one of the fastest growing economies, and especially digitally, like you pointed out. One from US, America, which is leading the world in terms of the technology and all the disruptions. We have Mr. Mohan, who is from Singapore National University of Singapore, which is the most renowned, most prestigious universities, and especially he leads the AI practice there, and Ms. Pranitha from. Thank you so much. And I'll take a brief few minutes to introduce them before I get started. And of course, this session was supposed to have been moderated by Honorable Minister Nala Lokesh Garu. Like I mentioned, he got stuck. So I'll try and do the best justice that I can do, at this short notice. So to begin with, I'll start with Dr. Mohan. Dr. Mohan is, like I mentioned earlier, he's a Provost Chair Professor of Computer Science at the NUS, where he's the founding director of the NUS AI Institute. He's also the Deputy Executive Chair of AI Singapore, which is Singapore's national AI R&D program. He has previously held senior leadership roles as the Dean of NUS School of Computing and Vice Provost for Graduate Education for NUS. He obtained his BTech from IIT Kharagpur and MS and PhD from the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Mohan's research contributions are in multimodal computing, computer vision, and trustworthy AI. He is deeply interested in the intersection of technology, society, and digital trust. At the NUS AI Institute, he leads research initiatives on multimodal AI models and trustworthy machine learning. Mohan was also a member of World Economic Forum's 2020-24 Global Future Council on Artificial Intelligence. He is currently a member of ACM's Global Technology Policy Council. Thank you, Mr. Mohan. Truly a privilege and honor to be with you this afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much for those very kind words. It's a delight and a pleasure to be here. And I was particularly encouraged by the keynote by His Excellency Khalid Al-Khattab, because what he mentioned about Saudi Arabia, I've actually been a witness to that. Last year, I attended the Global AI Summit, which was done in Riyadh. And the amount of progress in AI being done out there is incredible. So what I'm going to say is going to be very different from what he says. After all, I'm a computer science professor. I am a researcher. I am a certified nerd. And I'm going to talk about something related to research. I have been, like the last 10, 15 years have been some of the most exciting times to be as a researcher. And of course, this has been due to the resurgence of AI. And as it was mentioned that we founded the NUS AI Institute 2 years ago, roughly. It has two parts. One is what we call as core AI or fundamental AI. And there are about 60, 70 professors working in that area. But there is even a bigger area which we call as domain AI, or what we call as AI plus X, where the X stands for many of the few things. So for example, one of the domains is AI plus finance, AI plus science, AI plus manufacturing, AI plus sustainability, and so on. And we have more than 150 professors working in this area. And the reason is, as a computer scientist, I'm very interested in the developments of these large models. I think all of us are familiar with ChatGPT or Gemini and all these models. But what is less appreciated is its impact on accelerating innovation. And I want to kind of give you a few examples. Of course, we all have heard about AlphaFold and how protein folding problem has been accelerated using AI. But in our institute, we have people working for AI in designing better drug molecules, or using AI for designing better catalysts for chemical industry, or using AI for trying to understand the species and the diversity. And I would like to highlight, there were two papers released last week, and they are very exciting. One is called Cosmos. Cosmos spelled with a K, and you can look it up. You can Google for Cosmos. And this is an effort, a multinational effort on trying to accelerate discovery in science. And what is, in their limited experiments, what they found is, using AI models, you can actually look for data, you can look for papers, you can summarize them, you can analyze them, and you can actually formulate hypotheses. And what happens is the space of the hypothesis, that can be infinite, But what these AI models can do is to give you a few finite, plausible hypotheses, which then the researchers can investigate further. And what they estimate is it cut down about 6 months of work to about 1 day. And that is real acceleration for AI for science. The second paper is about AI for mathematical discovery. I mean, mathematics is one of the purest of knowledge subjects. So this is a work which was done by Terence Tao. If you might have heard of Terence Tao. He's a very, very famous mathematician at UCLA. He's a Fields Medal winner. And they are now actively using AI models to develop original proofs in mathematical theorems. And again, the whole process, the keyword of this session is acceleration, is basically it allows for acceleration of innovation, of discoveries, of inventions. So this is about AI accelerating innovation. I would like to point out another of our experience at the National University of Singapore. We have introduced something called the GRIP program, which is Graduate Research Innovation Program. Now, what is really over the last 10, 15 years is the pace of innovation has really accelerated. So when the scientist makes a discovery to the fact that it becomes commercialized and used in actual industry, this time is shortening dramatically. So what we found is a lot of our PhD students and postdocs are doing research, and basically they're coming up with amazing discoveries. But our PhD programs and postdoc programs are geared for doing better science and more science, but not taking it out there to basically build innovations and actually do startups. So this program actually uses a kind of expertise of already professors who've been entrepreneurial to train our PhD students whose research might have business and startup inclinations. And we actually connect these students to the VC ecosystem in Singapore. And we have, this program is now less than 5 years old, and more than 400 startups have actually come out of this program. So just to let you know that because of AI and technology, as His Excellency had mentioned, a lot of these time cycles are getting accelerated. It is one of the most exciting times to do research. And I think for the first time, we now have an aid in terms of these large foundation models to speed up the discovery and humanity's many of the problems. Some of these problems are really wicked problems of sustainability, of having green energy. You want to have a more comfortable life, but you don't want to create more pollution. You don't want the climate to be messed up. And hopefully, some of the bright young people and the scientists working with technologists and venture capitalists, I think there is a real shot at coming up with some of the solutions. So I'll stop now, and then we can discuss further.
Thank you, Dr. Mohan. That was so insightful. And thank you for sharing the perspectives on how AI is going to evolve, how it is going to, and all those possibilities out there. And especially, I think I would like to take the cues from you at one, India and Singapore, how we could collaborate, in this research, industry, academia collaborations. And Singapore has a great institutions, right, universities. So maybe co-innovation labs to startup hubs, like you said. So Singapore is quite ahead in implementing these things. So I see a great possibilities for partnerships. And this particular summit's theme, technology, trade, and trust. So I think technology, it's trade also, as well as trust. They're all already established. And especially even on the AI front, there are this new frontier technology, and you can break the ceiling. So thank you so much for sharing your perspectives on this. Thank you. Now I'll come to, in fact, I think I would request the next speakers to in the interest of time, to introduce themselves. And in fact, Gregory has already told me, don't save the time or save the trouble in introducing. And so I think I would request you to introduce yourself, Gregory, and first start with sharing your perspective.
My first perspective is that was quite loud. So to begin, I am Gregory Allen. I am a senior advisor at the Wadhwani AI Center at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C. We are a policy research organization, and I have been focused on AI now for 10 years. And there's two technologies that I want to talk about in the course of my remarks because I think they demonstrate so many of the different themes of the panel. Before I joined CSIS, which is an NGO and a policy research organization, I previously did corporate strategy work at a company called Blue Origin, which is a space technology company founded by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. And just yesterday, Blue Origin, which was already the first company in the world to develop a suborbital reusable rocket, successfully landed the New Glenn launch vehicle and became the second company on Earth to reuse and land a orbital class space vehicle. And this panel's theme, which is technology and inclusivity, ponder for a moment the space industry as it existed 50 years ago and as it exists now today. 50 years ago, the space industry was the exclusive province of countries, and within countries, almost exclusively the United States and the Soviet Union. It was too expensive and too complicated for anything other than a superpower to be engaged in the practice of launching rockets into space or launching satellites into space. Today, not just countries, but companies are engaged in space exploration because the cost and complexity has come down so significantly. And if you look at satellites, there are satellites, for example, that NASA built in 1997 to measure ocean color data, and that satellite cost $70 million in then-year dollars. And just a few years ago, a satellite was launched that weighed only 2 kilograms, that had higher performance than that old NASA satellite, and it cost only $2 million, a 35-fold reduction in cost. Moreover, it was not built by the biggest brains at NASA, it was built by college students as a final project for a class. This is the democratization of technology in action, where capabilities that used to be available to the few are now available to the many. And perhaps nowhere is this more extraordinary than in the AI industry, which was once science fiction and is now a part of our everyday lives. ChatGPT is only the best known part of this story. It is not the only part of this story. But take for a moment to think about what it takes to go from ChatGPT does not exist in October of 2023 to now more than 800 million people use ChatGPT every week on average. That is how fast not just technology is accelerating, but the availability of these extraordinary capabilities is accelerating and becoming cheaper and becoming more affordable, and it's an amazing story. And in terms of the investment that is required to make those capabilities available, I think it's worth coming back again to the space sector. And perhaps I'll pause here so that the minister can jump in.
My apologies.
No, there's no problem. So as I was saying, the capabilities are becoming more widely available because they are cheap and easy to use. But it is not cheap to make those capabilities easy to use and widely available. In the United States, just the top 5 hyperscale companies are going to invest this year in 2025 $400 billion in capital expenditures to build AI data centers, the associated energy infrastructure, and to conduct research and development into advancing AI technologies. To put $400 billion in perspective, that is larger in inflation-adjusted terms than the investment that the United States government made in the Apollo program over the course of a decade to put a human being on the moon. In 1 year, we will invest more than it took 10 years to put a man on the moon. That is the state of AI. And the vast majority of this investment is taking place in the form of private capital. And that is an extraordinary opportunity for every country on Earth to gain access to these capabilities, to build new industries on the back of these capabilities, and to take advantage of these capabilities for humanitarian development. My wife is a doctor, and I have often said that, for you, ChatGPT is maybe helpful every once in a while. Perhaps you will ask it to look something up for you that previously you would have looked up in a medical textbook. But if you think about the rural populations of the world and the impoverished populations of the world, where perhaps there is only one doctor for every 500,000 people, ChatGPT can offer medical advice and do so in local languages and local dialects in a way that is pretty extraordinary. And the availability of telecommunications also tells this story. At the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, the total number of long-distance phone lines for the entire country was 25. There could be 25 simultaneous international calls made out of the Soviet Union in 1991. But today, not only can you have millions of long-distance calls, with satellite connectivity, you can do those calls from the middle of a rural area or from the middle of the ocean, if need be. And so the point is that these capabilities are increasingly available, increasingly affordable, and increasingly beneficial. And that's a story that is taking place across the entire Earth, and I'm very delighted that the United States is not just leading in this, but assisting other countries in participating in this growing and exciting industry. I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Gregory, for sharing your perspectives and truly. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the honor of our Honorable Minister for HRD, IT and Electronics and RTG, Shri Nara Lokesh, the dynamic leader of the state, who's truly the reflection of the how to modernize governance by using technology. So the true speed of doing business, that is his new philosophy, is the ambassador, and you have seen the way the investments have been pouring into the state. They are really excited, the investors, the innovators, the policymakers, everybody is engaging with the state. And thanks to the Honorable CM's guidance on visionary leadership and the execution prowess and the relentless and steadfastness of our dynamic and young leader. And for over the last 15 months alone, we have had more than 120 billion investments committed, and it is likely that another same amount of 120 billion is going to be signed as an MOUs for the next 2 days, which I think more details he will share. But I just want to give a brief background on the kind of energy he's bringing to the state and the kind of, the attraction. And the key factor for that attraction is Honorable Chief Minister and Mr. Nara Lokesh. And today we see the whole paradigm shift of our, state, and is back on a fast track of growth. So thank you so much, sir, for your presence here. And I would like to now hand over to you and request you to take this forward from here with your opening remarks.
Looks like I came in time for closing remarks. But my sincere apologies to the entire leadership here. Kalajit, my apologies for being late. The opening session unfortunately ran longer than anticipated, and we were dragged in multiple directions. But welcome to Andhra Pradesh. It's very exciting to have you, to host all of you here. I walked into the comments that were being made, and yes, we are living in very exciting times. And I believe that India has a very important role to play in especially innovation. No other country offers the scale that India today can offer, and that's what makes us very unique. I'll give you a few examples of the interesting work that we're trying to achieve here in our state of Andhra Pradesh. Since we are now talking about AI and the role of ChatGPT and how it's transforming us, our Chief Minister has given us a target to do skill census. Now, skill census, as you're aware, it's easy said than done, because you'll have to assess skill gaps across trades. So it could be ranging from carpentry to plumbing, all the way up to an AI engineer, and how do you assess it and how do you give a skill intervention. We've tried the traditional way of doing skill assessment, and we have failed, and failed miserably. That's where conversational AI has become a very powerful tool. So over the course of the next 2 days, you will see us launch it, where we are able to use conversational AI to assess skills across sectors and exactly understand where is the gap, and then which partner can enable us to fill in that gap. And that's where I believe that technology has a very, very large role to play. And I believe this could probably be an opportunity where Andhra Pradesh can lead this technology and, of course, give it to India and then onward to the globe. And this is one example. The second example, which definitely we are learning from Saudi Arabia, is also on our ability to do e-governance and using technology more effectively in terms of delivering services to our citizens. As all of you know, India contributes substantively in terms of users for WhatsApp. India is a WhatsApp-first country. That's where we've used WhatsApp on service delivery. We brought in close to about 1,000 services onto a single WhatsApp number. And we're now using this as a delivery platform to our citizens. And I believe this is just the beginning. There's a lot more that we can do. But then we want to use generative AI to sort of plug in the gaps of the entire data cube or data lake, as we call. And that's something that we believe, again, could be fundamentally transformative in terms of the way we do. And this is probably, and again, a potential opportunity for us to collaborate and learn from our friends here from Saudi Arabia and different parts of the world. Saying that, again, we've attracted India's single largest FDI investment into data centers. And as all of us are aware, data center alone does not create an ecosystem, but it's the nucleus of the ecosystem. This will enable us to really look at cutting-edge technology coming out of here. It could be in financial services, really, all the way up to GovTech. And then our ability to execute at that sharp level is going to be very, very critical. So I believe that Andhra Pradesh is ready, willing to partner with Saudi Arabia, and we're looking at opportunities that we can sort of collaborate, where companies from Saudi Arabia can come invest in Andhra Pradesh and vice versa. We here in India and especially in Andhra Pradesh believe that it's a two-way stream, and that's what makes it even more exciting and worthwhile. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming, being part of this discussion, and I look forward to taking the discussion here to tangible outcomes. You know, one thing that I've always said is that we'll have great conversations, and then we meet after a year, and then we again have the next conversation. But I'm really excited to actually take this conversation forward and to result in meaningful outcomes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your long-term vision and your perspective and how you're working hard using technology to truly unlock the potential, unlock the value of this region. And we see great promise going forward, and with the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Minister. And I see great possibilities for partnership across the panel. If you see, we have Saudi Arabia, which is the fastest growing economies, digitally driving it. We have North America, US from Gregory. We have Singapore. We have great institutions, AI, and then, of course, India. So the great partnership possibilities. And our Honorable Minister always keeps talking about industry-academia collaboration, how we can really leverage that to build industry-ready skills, domain or industry-specific skills. And those are some of the topics that Mr. Mohan also touched upon earlier. So as I would now request Ms. Pranitha to briefly and to keep it, as you know, we are running against time. So thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pranitha Upadhyay, and I'm the head of ITU Area Office and Innovation Center for South Asia. Talking about my educational background, I'm a PhD in computer engineering, and I work in the domain of AI. I've been working in this domain for around 27, 28 years now. On behalf of International Telecommunication Union, I would like to thank CII Partnership Summit for this opportunity to share our journey in accelerating inclusive, sustainable innovation It is my privilege to join 30th Partnership Summit, a platform that continues to foster collaboration, innovation, shared prosperity. Together, we reaffirm our commitment to shaping a digital future that is inclusive, sustainable, and transformative. At ITU, our mission is clear: to bridge the digital divide and to connect 2.6 billion people who are still offline. By doing so, we can harness transformative power of emerging technologies, innovation to achieve sustainable development goals, and to ensure no one is left behind. Emerging technologies, particularly AI, are powerful tools for development. As the UN Specialized Agency for ICT, it is actually the oldest UN agency. It's been 160 years now. ITU supports its member states through global AI standards, policy guidance, capacity building, and knowledge sharing to ensure that these technologies serve humanity responsibly and inclusively. Our Area Office and Innovation Center at New Delhi, under the Regional Office for Asia and Pacific in Bangkok, drives cooperation and policy innovation to accelerate sustainable digital growth across South Asia and beyond, bringing innovation to every corner, from cities to remote villages. Talking about the regional initiatives in the year 2025, ITU advanced inclusive digital transformation across South Asia through its collaborative efforts and impactful work such as capacity building, ICT policy planning for good governance in India, regional cyber drill in Mongolia, and child online protection workshop in Nepal. In partnership with EY, AI Accelerator Program for Girls trained young women in New Delhi, Bangalore, and Hyderabad on AI-driven entrepreneurship. An AI feasibility study was conducted to analyze adaptation of artificial intelligence in landlocked countries, least developed countries, small island developing states within Asia and the Pacific region. The study identified investment priorities, infrastructure, and human capacity to spearhead AI adaptation in the region. Through projects supported by Government of Japan, ITU held workshop and training across Asia and the Pacific, strengthening governance and interoperability in AI deployment. Girls in ICT Day 2025 Nepal provided an opportunity for girls and young women to see and be exposed to the benefits of ICT in enabling their career and aspirations through training and coding and emerging technology. At ITU Innovation Center in Delhi, we are consistently bringing a knowledge and technology gap through study tours, training programs, and innovation cafes and co-creation workshops. Since its launch in 2025, total of 9 innovation cafes have been held in various formats on the topics ranging from AI, IoT, to AI standards and ethics, e-waste, and etc. So far, innovation cafes have brought together more than 300 participants from 30 countries and several UN agencies across Asia and the Pacific. Upcoming hackathon, the Data Universal and Meaningful Hackathon launched in WTIS 2025 will engage youth in the mapping digital divides and developing creative solutions for achieving universal connectivity. Actually, we welcome your participation and contribution to the Data Hackathon, which will be held in Delhi in April 2026. Talking about our global effort, at the global level, our Innovation Entrepreneurship Alliance for the Digital Development continues to accelerate countries' journey towards innovation-driven digital economy. The Global Innovation Forum in Malta strengthened South-South cooperation, while ITU's network of 17 acceleration centers continue to drive digital entrepreneurship and policy experimentation worldwide. ITU's flagship events such as AI for Good Global Summit 2025, Quantum for Good, and Digital at UNGA 2025 showcased AI and quantum technologies as a tool for sustainable development. A notable milestone was Microsoft pledged to train 20 million people in AI skills under ITU's Partner to Connect coalition. I'm pleased to highlight the next week World Telecommunication Development Conference will be held in Baku, Azerbaijan under the theme Universal, Meaningful, and Affordable Connectivity for Inclusive and Sustainable Digital Future. At WTDC 2025, member states will convene to define ITU's development agenda for the next 4 years. We thank the Government of India and all of our member states and partners for their active engagement and leadership in shaping these regional and global priorities. In closing, we look forward to strengthening collaboration with our member states and partners at the regional, national, and the community level to promote digital transformation and nurture inclusive innovation ecosystem through our regional offices and area office for South Asia and Innovation Center at New Delhi. Together, let us build a digital empowered world that leaves no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pranita, for sharing your perspectives. Really appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think one thing is very clear from these conversations, these discussions. If we are inclusive, collaborative, and sustainable, then the impact of technology is much, much higher. And when we connect the research with the real-world impact that you brought up, as well as His Excellency had shared some of the things, great impactful initiative that they're taking up. I think that is when we will have a very strong, outcomes, both in terms of, meeting global needs as well as connecting them with through partnerships and collaborations with the local needs. So I think it's been a very meaningful and a reproductive discussion. Thank you very much for all of you to joining this session. And we look forward to many more such productive and engaging and very insightful discussions. We have almost another 40 sessions lined up. It's going to be really intense and a great learning opportunity from this platform. So thank you once again.
Thank you, panel members, and thank you, Honorable Minister. May I now request Honorable Minister to hand over and gift a small token of a shawl and a gift to His Excellency Shri Khalid Al-Khattab. Yeah, for the photo op. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly give a round of applause. May I now request Honorable Minister to felicitate Dr. Mohan, Deputy Executive Chair, for his presence. May I now request Honorable Minister to felicitate Shri Gregory Allen for his presence and for his remarks. May I request Honorable Minister to felicitate Dr. Pranita Upadhyay for her presence and remarks. And now may I request our State Chairman, Shri Murali Krishna, to felicitate the Honorable Minister. Thank you. For the photo op, please. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the closure of this plenary session. Many thanks to all the panel members and dignitaries, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for your presence. Thank you.